again he says that within the fraction of a second, he was able to reach his country. In real life, it is not possible. And even if he go back to Kashmir, he cannot see the beautiful Kashmir of his memory now. It is now a war-torn country because of the frequent disputes, territorial disputes between India and Pakistan on Kashmir. And so Agha Shahid Ali says that I won't be able to return to my original beautiful Kashmir. But when I received the postcard with the beautiful picture of Kashmir, I was able to reach there within the fraction of a second. And then he says, when I return, the colors won't be so brilliant. His pity for his mother country, his sympathy, he is lamenting for the destruction that has happened to Kashmir. And so he says that when I return to my country, I won't be able to see Kashmir in this perfect shape. In the picture, it's a small picture, but very beautiful, very neat and perfect. And then he says, Jhelum's waters, Jhelum is a river in Kashmir. The Jhelum's water so clean, so ultramarine. Ultramarine means very bright blue color, ultramarine. And then he is holding the postcard in his hand, looking at the picture of Kashmir. He can see the mighty Himalayas on one side. It is only half-inch in size. And then the speaker can see River Jhelum in the picture. And in the picture, the water is so pure, crystal clear, bright blue in color. But the poet says that when I return to Kashmir, I am sure that water of River Jhelum is not as neat and clean as seen in the picture. My love so exposed too much. And my love to my country is exposed too much. And my memory will be a little out of focus. And then he is away from his country for a long time. And so he says that my memory is a bit dim. Memory of his mother country. It's a bit dim. Why? He hadn't visited Kashmir these years. Or years back, or for years he is in US, not going back to Kashmir. And so the picture of Kashmir is not very clear in his mind. But he has excessive love for Kashmir and he considers Kashmir his home. And he always feels like a fish out of water in US. And he says, my memory of Kashmir is dim. And in it, a giant negative. These are two adjectives, isn't it? Giant, then negative. It helps contrast the shrunken, idealized Kashmir in the picture with the reality. A giant negative, the two adjectives. It also suggests to the reader a contrast. The small, beautiful, perfect picture of Kashmir in the picture and the real Kashmir facing the grim realities. The two pictures, war-torn Kashmir. And so that contrast is made before the reader. In the last stanza, in the last 4-line stanza, the speaker says that my memory of my mother country is very dim. But he says that he is sure that there is a great contrast now between the picture of Kashmir in the postcard It is small in size, small but very beautiful, excellent, perfect. But now Kashmir, the real picture, it's gigantic big, but it has to face the grim realities. And so the bitter picture of Kashmir and the beautiful picture of Kashmir of the past is contrasted. And black and white still undeveloped. Black and white still undeveloped. The picture is not properly developed. He says that now what is his present attitude towards Kashmir? He knows that Kashmir is his home and the most beautiful country. But he admits that he hadn't visited Kashmir recently. And so he is away from Kashmir for years. And so the picture of Kashmir is not very clear in his mind. And the memory is vague and dim. And there he says that his memory of Kashmir is like a black and white negative. The picture is not properly developed on paper. It is like a black and white negative. The simple meaning is that since he hadn't visited Kashmir for years, the picture of Kashmir is not very clear in his mind. But the words are very suggestive, black and white and all. The structure reflects that memories are just pieces of flashbacks and feelings that lie tangled together. And so, in his mind, what is Kashmir? It's a flashback. Our feelings, memories, everything is mixed up. The memories of the past, the flashback, everything is mixed up. But however enchanting his memories are, they are indeed messy. And so it will gradually fade. And so the last stanza is very suggestive. The main point is that now the picture of Kashmir is not very clear because he hadn't visited Kashmir for years. But his mind is mixed up with memories of his past, then flashbacks. And so the memories, they are enchanting memories where he was in his beautiful place, mother country, Kashmir. And so enchanting memories they are. But everything is mixed up, it is messy, and it is gradually faded. The picture of Kashmir is not very much clear in his mind. The speaker admits it. But his mind is full of memories of the past and the flashbacks. Everything is lying messed up so that the picture of Kashmir is not very clear in his mind. And so this is the poem I told you. It's a simple poem in 14 lines. We are reminded of the Shakespearean sonnet written in the Shakespearean love sonnets. And again, I told you about the structure. It has 3 stanzas. First stanza 4 lines, second stanza 6 lines, and finally you have a 4-lined third stanza. And the poem is a great poem dealing with one's nostalgia for his mother country, dealing with the theme of self-imposed exile and the great longing to return to one's country. The diasporic feeling, the feeling of rootlessness in a foreign country, the feeling of being an outsider. Everything is revealed. The great regret for having left his mother country. And then again a severe longing to return there. These are the ideas that are suggested in the poem. I hope you have enjoyed the poem and read it, study it, and I am sure that it will be a very interesting poem for you. And this will be the last poem in the poetry collection, so that in the next class I will be going to prose lessons we have to complete 2 lessons there. And so read and enjoy the poem. Thank you.